Hello, everyone. Today is January 28th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes Storage SIG meeting. So today we will go through our 1.21 planning. The next deadline is cap freeze, which is February 9th. So that is coming. If you have a feature that you want to get into this release, make sure that you pin the leads to get the caps tracked in this spreadsheet. And then you must make sure that your caps are in the implementable state, and you need to do the production readiness review. So there are a few requirements for that, for the cap. Okay, so let's go to spreadsheet. The first one is delegate FS group to CSI driver instead of couplet. Amand, do you have a update on this?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to find it. Okay, so we have a cap. I opened a cap. There's an enhancement file. It's an alpha feature, and it's being reviewed. It's going. David Eats reviewed did the PRR review readiness, production readiness review for it, and I'm addressing his comments and everything. Then there's a parallel CSI proposal to make the changes. We had a meeting yesterday to discuss the CSI stuff. Yeah, changes, and we had a meeting last week, not wherever the CSI community sync was. I think we are going to need one more meeting for CS and CSI community sync. That's coming, I think, next week. Yeah, next, is it next week? Yeah, next week, Wednesday, February 3rd, to get the CSI proposal merged, or like at least decide status. But we are basically kind of good to go, but we are blocked on the CSI proposal getting merged.
Okay, thank you. You said you have an enhancement issue in cap, right? Can you
Yeah,
add those?
yeah, I
Okay,
will link
thanks.
them.
Okay, so next one is CSI online offline resizing.
So the current status is that Sung and Abhishek and Neha, there are folks from Microsoft are helping us out. We are fixing some of the issues in 121 time frame, but the two big thing like the something that require cap, the recovery from resize failure, I think we may not be able to get in time for 121.
Okay, so that's this next one, recovery from resize failure. Okay. Yeah, so this one target, this is one design, this one we don't have a like alpha state, right? So it's still design, right, for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to thank you. I don't know if they're in the chat, like Sang, Abhishek, and Neha for joining this effort. Actually,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know their names. Maybe you can put them on this dev.
Yeah. Okay.
Column. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for helping. Okay, and the next one is Secure Linux recursive permission handling. So we are working on design.
I haven't started.
Okay.
So no update this time.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Next one is entry read-only handling. Okay, so Chen, were you able to get started on this?
Yeah, so Ashley will be focusing on one specific CSI PV read-only handling PR. I made a mistake last time to sign up for this one. Unfortunately, I won't be able to focus on the larger entry.
Not the same one. So okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So should we keep your name here, or we can leave it here for
I
now?
don't think
Okay.
I'll be able to focus on
Oh,
this one, unfortunately. If
okay.
anybody else would be able to help, that would be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, we still
I'm
have.
not sure. I think this one was mostly scoped to that one PR.
Oh,
I'm not
maybe
sure
part of it,
there's.
I think. So maybe we'll just say you are working on
Okay.
a part of this.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm not sure
double
there's
check.
actually more to do than just that one.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll double check the issue and
Mhm.
maybe update accordingly.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, we still okay. So we still haven't heard from Humble. Yeah. Okay. All right. Out of office. Next one, issues related to assuming volumes are mount points. Do we have any update on this? Do we have?
I feel there are like not just one, but there are some PRs related, but it's not completely fixed the whole issue yet. So some people keep having small PRs related to this area. So hopefully, I later have time to check again, like to see whether we need something to fix as a whole. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jing. Next one is storage capacity tracking. Patrick.
Yep. I picked up the.
Oh, I can hardly hear you.
Microphone wasn't turned down. So yeah,
Okay.
sorry for that. So I've restarted the discussion around the caps, the PRR production readiness review that was still missing, and I now got the attention of my reviewer. So we are making good progress on, or we have made good progress on the storage capacity one, and the next one, generic ephemeral inner volumes will come soon.
Okay.
Technically, I think we identified one thing in storage capacity tracking that I want to work on or need to work on. That's a part of the technical design for ownership of the individual CSI storage capacity objects. I proposed something in a pull request against the cap, and I think Michelle volunteered to provide some technical feedback. So I'm waiting for that, and then if that's agreeable, I'll start the implementation work. But the change itself is entirely an external provisioner, which means that we are a bit less constrained by the Kubernetes deadlines. We still want to have it ready, of course. But
the PR you are talking about, is that in external provision? It's not a cap update, right? It's a
no, the cap update outlines a new technical solution that we will implement in external provisioner.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of in-tree Kubernetes changes, I have a meeting schedule. I will attend the next CSI community meeting because I do have one open question around maximum volume size versus total available capacity. It's currently ambiguous in the CSI spec, and I think we wanted to clarify whether CSI drivers can be made more precise by returning two values or clarifying the spec what that value is that they return. And based on that, we'll probably update the in-tree representation of that information in the CSI storage capacity object. So that'll happen next week, I hope.
Okay.
I'm not sure how quickly the CSI spec then can get updated, but at least we should have clarification on the next steps.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
For ephemeral volumes, yeah, as I said, the production readiness review still needs to be completed, which I hope will be soon. Yeah, and other than that, I think there are no big technical challenges for that feature that need to be solved.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick. Next one is a CSI ephemeral volume going beta. Matt, work on this?
Yeah, there isn't any updates since the last time. This is still something we're looking at in the second half of the year.
Okay. So we are not really targeting beta in this release, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a call out if anybody else wants to pick this up.
Okay.
Welcome to pick it up. Otherwise, it'll be delayed until the second half of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I am. If anyone is willing to pick it up, I definitely can help out with that. I just don't have the time to really push this through on my own.
Right. If anyone wants to work on this, please let us know. You can sync up with Matt. Okay, next one, spreading over failure domain. This is me, so I don't have an update yet. This one is depending on the next one, which is volume group API. So I have updated the cap based on our meeting last time. So I will probably schedule another meeting to review the changes. Next one is CSI auto tree move as SCSI driver. So this is Michelle. Michelle, do you have an update on this?
Oh, no, I have not had a chance to reach out to iSCSI folks.
Okay, thanks. And then the next one, okay, move out NFS provisioner and NFS client provisioner. That's Karen. Is Karen here? Okay, so the last update saying things are good. Looks like getting close. So, okay, so we will get update next time. Next one is volume snapshot namespace transfer. Christian?
Yes, an issue has been filed. A KEP has been pushed, which outlines the temporary design. It largely mirrors the PVC namespace transfer, which has not yet been fully merged, and it relies on the same API. So the design is still being tentatively discussed, and the KEP needs to be reviewed. But it's not imperative for this quarter. Basically, we have a design and we're iterating on it.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Christian. Okay, next one is volume house. We're trying to bring this to beta. So this one actually we did get a production readiness review. There were some concerns from Michelle about the pod informer, whether that will affect the scalability. So I attended one of the SIG node meeting and asked them for some input. So they mentioned something called a node problem detector, which actually is a daemon set that is doing some monitoring on the node, and then either export that to Prometheus or to event, or if it's a permanent error, they actually put that as a condition on the node. So well, we are actually sending those events to a pod. So I'm not sure if we can use that, but I think I need to take a closer look of that. And then they also are saying that we should see if we can like limit the scope, only watch the pods that are bound to a node, and also the limit the scope of the privileges. So those are the things that I still need to look into. I may need to call another meeting and discuss what we need to do about this. I think the controller side seems to be straightforward. It's just on the node side, we need to figure out what to do. Okay, the next one is volumepopulator. It's Ben. Is Ben on the call? Okay. So I didn't attend the meeting this week. I think last time he's working on, I think he made some code changes.
Yeah, he was just updating the code. I think it's the same status this week, so he canceled the meeting this week to work on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm not sure if his cap, I think his cap is still being reviewed, right? Like the production readiness.
I think he needs to update it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sad. Next one is Cozy. So I got an update from Srini. He said he can't attend today. He said there are many document PRs in progress for other full repos. API and spec changes are updated in the cap and ready for review. Comments are addressed for the spec PR. Thanks, Sad, for the review. They will focus on the demo after everything's merged. Okay, so the next one, change block tracking. Yeah, so Fang is working on a design. We had another meeting. We got some input from Ed from Microsoft on the API. So I think we still need to get some input from the EBS side. We don't really have anyone working on that. So because their API is a little different from the rest. So yeah, that's still like one remaining thing we want to resolve. Otherwise, the does not look like our current proposed API work for EBS. Yeah, so hoping to get some feedback from them. Next one is the new rewrite only access mode. Is Chris working on this?
Yes. Right now I'm just doing research, just trying to understand like what's going to be involved in making this work. And then I'll proceed with filing a cap and enhancement issue.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Next one is update topology labels from beta to GA. Do you have anyone? Okay, this one says volunteers needed.
Yeah, so I got a email from an engineer from Microsoft.
Oh.
Her name is Layla, I think, Laila, and Laila.
Oh.
Yeah. So and she mentioned she is willing to take this on. Okay. So basically, the current status for this is that we're blocking by another PR that I had to fix the CSI migration issue, and that PR has not been merged. Once that is being merged, we can start to work on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. So next one is CSI migration core.
Yeah, so for the CSI migration, we had a open source Kubernetes CSI migration meeting last Friday, and we had some discussion there and had some announcement. So I think that the core idea is that we have to, we're trying to meet the 1.24 entry code removal timeline. So with that being said, for each cloud provider, they will have to provide a plan on how their entry driver can meet that timeline. So in our next CSI migration meeting, which is next Friday, our proposal is that each cloud provider should come up with a plan and to just let us know what are their blocking issues and what's their current status and how is the timeline going to look like for them. So specifically for GCPD, where our timeline is that on 1.21, we're gonna turn this CSI migration GCE on by default and fix all the test infrastructure and CI. And on 1.22, we will announce it as GA. And in 1.23 and 1.24, we will try to do some entry code removal. So yeah, there are more discussion in around this, and I don't think I can talk all of them, but yeah, feel free to join the CSI migration meeting or just looking at the notes. Regarding the code, the core GA, I had 3 PR related to the core GA out for review. So I think 2 of them are already there, and 1 of them is related to the migration matrix. It's still working in progress, and Michelle and Patrick are trying to help review that. Yeah, I guess that's all about it. Yes, and yeah. So one thing I wanted to know, if there is anyone from AWS in the call, that I wanted to let them know, aware of this timeline thing, because last time I don't know if there's anyone from AWS attend the meeting.
Okay, so I see the name is Matt Wang. He is not from AWS, I think.
I pinged Matthew offline, by the way, and he said he will catch up.
Okay.
He was on PTO.
Oh, okay. That sounds good then. Yeah. Okay. That's all from the core.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I think one thing I also wanted to mention about this the core CSI migration is I had a PR, which is to what's that called? It's called replace the CSI migration complete flag with entry plugin unregistered flag. So that means some of the existing CSI migration complete flag will be just removed directly because it's still in alpha. And we will replace this with a new flag called entry plugin something unregistered. So basically the idea is that with this new flag, we are decoupling unregistered entry plugin with the CSI migration. So previously, if we wanted to disable the entry plugin, we will have to enable CSI migration complete flag to do that. That means you have to have the CSI migration feature turned on. But see, if there's a cluster that wants to directly go with CSI and not support entry volume at all, it can directly, it can now go just directly with the entry plugin unregistered flag. So yeah, that's my idea. So I just wanted to call this out so like everybody knows this flag is being removed. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Shawway. Okay, next one is system migration vSphere. Is Devian here? Okay, looks like Devian is not in the call. I think he attended the meeting. I think there was one issue regarding the Xing and the SIG permission format that is not supported in the CSI driver, but it's in the entry driver. So I think we have been discussing internally on what to do with that. I think next meeting, I think Devian can give an update.
So the one more item was like, there were 3 things, I think. One was the disk format, and second one was we should explicitly deprecate older versions of vSphere in this release so that we can meet 124 timeline. And the third thing was that Michelle pointed out the hardware version. If we are going to not support, like, let's say 15, then we should deprecate that also in this release so that anyone, if you're going to pull the plug and not anybody who's running Kubernetes right now, they won't be able to upgrade, then they should receive a message now.
Is this the same as the issue opened by I think shawway opened the issue, right? Is that the same thing? No, this issue is the same. Oh no, not shawway. This is Jay. Is this the same one he was talking about?
Yeah, this is the same issue. I think
Okay.
Jay put a item at the end. We can discuss this after the status updates.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay, next one is CSI migration Azure disk. So is it Andy was there in the meeting? Is he aware of this?
Andy was not in the meeting, but I pinned him on Slack, and he said he will keep track of that.
Okay. And the next one is okay, Azure file. I think this one is trying to go beta, and I believe there's a class, right?
Andy confirmed that we'll be targeting beta, and I think the blocker issue that was discovered last release, I think he has a fix for it.
Okay.
And but there's the FS group thing, and then there's the issue of, and then there's the issue of
separate one. Is that a separate issue? That's another one that he says is blocking.
no, that's already tracked, but there's an issue of like if the Intrit plugin supports mounting same volume with different FS groups, that we won't be able to support with CSI driver, and I think that should be captured in the release notes, so that if anybody who relies on that feature, if you are going to break those users, they should know.
Yeah, I guess Shawway, did you get a chance to talk to Andy about the plan we have to by next week to write up the plans for 124?
Yes, I pinned him on Slack, and he mentioned he will keep track of that. I'm not sure if he will attend the meeting though, but I think I will pin him maybe like next week to
it sounds good.
maybe
if he
hopefully
can like just share the documents with us, then we can comment on it as necessary, because I think the meeting time it's like his nighttime for him, so I don't think he can make it.
I'll let him know. Yeah.
I think I put this in the wrong place. Okay, it should be here. All right. Next one. Okay, GC. So I think, Joey, you said you're going to turn it on in 1.21, right?
Yes, so our plan is for GKE to switch it on for GKE's 21 release. I think the pertinent question here is whether we switch it on by default in 121, which is our plan. Do we have to do anything else to like get acceptance and consensus for that, like in terms of the enhancements freeze?
No, I don't think so.
We need to update. This is still beta, right? So we don't need to update cap. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So then, if there is any need for consensus, I think we can just say that our plan is to turn it on by default in 121, but it will remain as beta.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Next one is AWS. I think we'll need to pin Matt. So Hemang, you will ping him, right?
Wait, sorry, ping who? Sorry.
Matt on AWS. CSI AWS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks. And the next one is OpenStack Cinder CSI migration. So do we have anyone working on this now?
So I have some good news and bad news. The good news is that I started testing with CSI migration. I found the bugs, but I think we can fix them.
Okay.
Problem is that like I haven't been able to find anybody in my company who knows the upstream of OpenStack Cinder CSI driver, and there are some tasks in the migration that we discussed last Friday that we need to update the upstream tools, upstream CI, and this kind of stuff. And we don't have the expertise here. So if there is anybody on this call or in the CSI community who knows about the OpenStack external cloud provider and the CSI driver upstream, like the install tools and the CI, we need help there. Otherwise, we can't own the migration. We can help with the storage parts, but not with this upstream thingy.
I think there was a guy who worked on the what is it called, Ember driver.
Yeah, isn't Gorka on it?
Yeah, Gorka. He's not. He's not here
Gorka
today.
is not involved in the upstream of OpenStack cloud provider.
Oh, you want someone who is working? Okay.
He knows OpenStack, he knows a lot about it, but not about the Kubernetes integrations.
Okay. All right, so we still need to find someone then.
Yeah.
Did you check the contribution history to see if there was anyone you know who worked on?
Not really, actually. I asked internally in Red Hat, like we have a lot of OpenStack knowledge here, but again, like as we have our own install tools, we don't know much about the upstream stuff.
I actually pinged the contribution history and the owners of the SIG OpenStack cloud provider, and like 3 people I pinged, and I pinged Dims today morning. So I didn't get anything from the cloud provider owner, but Dims was asking what those specific tasks are there for migration, like Jan said, like install tools and CI. But I think we have to be, if we can provide more accurate guidance, like we need to install the cloud provider, so that installer has to be updated, whatever is being used in the CI, and the second is all the CI jobs has to be updated. So if we can have more like concrete steps, and we know roughly, but if we can do more concrete step maybe and give it to them, it might help. So Dims was asking that information. I'm not sure if Dims in a position to help, but yeah, I pinged OpenStack upstream folks.
I think that'll be good to like outline in the plan. I think the actual like concrete tasks that need to be done.
It's mentioned in the notes from the meeting, but it's kind of scattered around. Maybe we can put it together into one place.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, so next one is system migration Ceph. Okay, so since Humble is out, we probably don't have any update yet, I think.
Yeah, no update on this yet.
Okay. Next one. Oh, okay, that's the.
Just quick question. This is Luis. Portworx has an entry driver too.
Oh yeah, you want to? Yeah, you want to start? Yeah, that you should.
Yeah, what should I do?
If you want to do that. Oh, what? That I don't know. So maybe.
Yeah, so there's a meeting that shawway has started
Okay.
for storage vendors who are looking into CSI migration. I would suggest starting to attend that meeting and then coordinating with him, and we can track the status of the work in this doc as well as with shawway.
Excellent, thank you. So ping, is he online
Yes, shawway.
Yeah, feel free
Yeah.
to ping me.
Yeah, that's Joey.
Excellent. I'll pick you on Slack, and we can go from there.
Yeah, and also we have a CSI migration channel on Slack as well.
Right.
You
Oh,
can
great. I'll join that. Thank
post
you.
any question. Sure.
Yeah, so actually every entry driver, so there are a lot. Every entry driver we eventually will need to.
And the plan is for 124 to all of them to stop.
That's only for cloud provider, right?
124 is for cloud providers. But like, after the cloud, so that's what we're focusing on. But after the first phase, then the second round of things is we're going to start looking into the rest of the non-cloud provider storage plugins.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next one is an non-grace for no shutdown. So we had a meeting with Signode folks. So Yasin is in progress to update the cap. So he said he hope we can submit an updated cap by Monday. Next one is enable user namespace in couplet. So UIDs get shifted. I don't know, but I'm not familiar with this one. Hamad, do we know? Is this one on track?
This is Signode's cap. We are just reviewing. I haven't had a chance to review it closely this week. Actually, I will try to find next week.
Okay. Thanks.
But if anybody else is interested, yeah, they should review this cap. It's an important cap.
Okay. I don't see this in the tracking sheet yet. Maybe they just didn't add. I don't see anything from Signode in the tracking spreadsheet. Okay, so the next one is immutable secrets and config maps. This one is already done. That's really quick. Okay. Next one is PVC created by stable set will not be auto removed. I think we are losing track because I don't know if KK is still working on that.
Yeah, I think he is. I haven't had a chance to ping him yet and see. I mean, I guess we need to get this by the next deadline, right? February.
Right. If we want to target alpha, and we also need to add that to the spreadsheet. I don't think I see this from SIG apps either. Yeah. So February 9th is the cap merge deadline. Yeah.
Okay, I will try and ping him and see if we can move this forward.
Okay, thanks. Next one, board expansion for stable set. Okay, I think this one is saying this one is design. So also KK is probably, yeah, I think he's working on the PVC deletion first. So next one is contentnotifier. So yes, I'm working with Shangqian on this. So Shangqian is actually updating the cap. So he will try to schedule a meeting with Tim to discuss the API changes. So hopefully we can get that one done soon. And the next one, okay, it's a Kubernetes utosmount split into new repo. So this is also Srini. So he said no progress, but he will work on it this week. Okay, I guess that's tomorrow. Next one is prioritization on volume capacity. Michelle, did you get any update on this?
Oh, sorry. I need to follow up with Xing on this to see if he's gonna have time.
Okay. I thought it's getting close last time. I thought it's only needing some E2 tests, right? So like cap was already merged, PRs there, just need the UT test. I thought that was the status last time.
I think the cap was merged, but I think there's just the implementation. There hasn't been an implementation yet.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks. Next one is user ID ownership in config maps and secrets. Jiawei, do you have an update?
Yeah, I have not had a chance So the target here is to design in this release.
Oh,
I'll target on that.
okay, thanks. Okay, I think that's all we have on this spreadsheet. We'll go back to the agenda doc. So we have a few items. I think it's from last meeting, but I don't. It looks like Debian is not on the call, so he has this. But I'd like to actually look at this one. So it's this issue that he opened. Basically, volume leaks when PVC is deleted, when associate PV is in the terminating state. So basically, what happened is, so he created PVC. It has PVC bond with the deletion policy, which is delete. Now, if we go ahead and try to delete the PV first, right? So it's going to be like in this terminating state. So he just canceled that one, and then he went to delete the PVC. And then the PVC and PV are both deleted. However, the volume, the underlying volume is not deleted because the CC driver didn't get any call to delete that. So he opened this issue, which seems to me like a bug, but there was also I know there was a lot of discussion on this. In this other issue, seems to be some concerns. So I guess my question is, if we say, if admin delete PV, then we always delete it. We don't really look at the reclaim policy. Then what's the point of having a reclaim policy setting there? So I think the reclaim policy should have some effect there. Does anyone have any thought on this? Michelle, Yang?
Yeah, so I think the original intention is that reclaim policy comes into effect when you delete the PVC object. And deleting the PV object, it was basically not really a supported sequence of events, and basically that would be like an admin going in and trying to force things. I think that was the intended behavior. It's definitely a bit confusing. I think we could consider potentially adding a new finalizer or something to help with this. I think there were attempts to add it in the past. I don't remember exactly why we did not end up going with it, but I mean, it's something we can look into. But I think it's definitely right now working as expected.
So you mean adding a finalizer on the PV if the policy? I mean, okay. So okay, where do we add the?
Like adding a finalizer on the PV to that will stay on until the actual plugin successfully deletes
I think
object.
I think we have done that for the snapshot. I think we should have some protection to prevent the leaking. Yeah, it's
On the other hand, it could break existing workflows when you delete a PV and you can recreate it while the volume is still available on the storage backend. If we start deleting it, it may surprise some users.
You create another PV to also like in the current workflows, you can actually create another PV to like claim.
Some people are solving CSI migration this way. They're deleting the entry PVs and creating CSI PVs for the same volume in the storage backend. And if you start deleting the volumes, they will be surprised.
Yeah, but leaving.
But I think they're
also pretty bad.
I mean, so in that case, you're describing they only delete the PV object or not deleting the PVC object?
I don't know.
But then why don't they just change that's what the reclaim policy is for, right? You have the reclaim policy. If you want to keep your underlying volume, just change the policy to be retained. I think that's...
Yeah, sure. Like there are ways how to prevent that and make it correct, but you need to change the workflow of those users.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jan here. There might be users that are depending on the existing behavior, whether the existing behavior is correct or not. If you make a change here, it will be potentially a surprise to them, especially if that surprise results in actual deletion of volumes where previously it didn't, is something we should be cautious about.
And also, I don't think this behavior is documented in the Kubernetes website, because this is very confusing, right? Because you should, when you look at reclaim policy, that should mean something. But this one says, okay, if you try to delete PV ahead or before you try to delete PVC, then this is the behavior. But if you try to delete PVC first, then you wouldn't run into this behavior.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of like weird, really undocumented behaviors of Kubernetes that we don't like, but we have to continue to support, like the multi-pod on a single node thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the minimum, we should make clear in our documentation that if you want to delete a volume, you always delete the PVC. You never delete the PV object.
Yeah, but this is I think it's just some mistake, very easy to make, right? It's not like you document it and people will remember this.
I think it shouldn't be very easy to make, because by default, user should not have permission to delete the PV.
Yeah, this is
right.
The admins, right? This is just a mistake.
Yeah, and admins hopefully should know a little bit better, is the hope.
But this is really confusing. Like I even thought, I thought, oh, this is not possible. How come you have this bug and it's still there? Because I thought if you have the deletion policy, then that means delete is delete. But in this case, depending on which one you try to delete first, right? You try to delete PV first, then this reclaim policy is useless. But if you try to delete PVC first, then the reclaim policy is useful. So I think that's the confusion. Because if you look at here, actually, we did delete PVC next, right? So we tried PV first, canceled it. It's still kind of terminating, right? But then we did delete PVC, right? So it's not like we didn't really delete PVC, right? So that's very, very confusing.
So
yeah, I agree. It's confusing.
Our current documentation today states if you want to reclaim it, you delete the PVC object.
Does it say that? But if you really just delete PVC, then you have to keep your PV, and then you need to keep the reclaim policy to be retained or something. But otherwise, both will be deleted. Everything will be deleted, right? You can't really have so I think it's not clear, right? If you just say, okay, you delete PVC first, how can we prevent the PV to be also deleted if we delete PVC first, right?
I think maybe one change is we just add a sentence saying you reclaim a volume by deleting the PVC. You do not touch the PV object.
But then we need to tell them how to achieve that, right? Because if you start,
then we'll say, then there's like the two other sections that talk about retain and delete, and then in retain you can say the PV object will still remain, and if it's delete, then the PV object will get deleted.
No. In this case, the Debian tried reclaim policy is delete. So, right, the reclaim policy here is deleted, so you can't just say
So I think we need to add something here saying the reclaim policy is only controlled by deletion of the PVC object. The PV object itself, deleting the PV object does not invoke the reclaim policy.
But still, we deleted the PVC as well, so that should invoke. People will say, okay, why doesn't that invoke the reclaim policy?
Yeah.
So I think it's like we need to write down exactly the order. If you do in this order, this will happen.
Yes, like basically we need to clarify reclaim policy only comes into effect if you delete the PVC object. If you
But
delete
also the
PV
PV
object first,
yeah,
if you delete
yeah.
the PV object first, that overrides everything, and
Yeah,
no
yeah. So
reclaim
we need to,
policy is.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's the confusion. Yeah. So I mean, if you say okay, it depends on whether you delete PVC first, then this should still work. But because you already did this, so yeah. So we need to. I think we need to have that in documentation. Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like documentation is the approach we'll go with.
At least for now. I mean, I still think this should have a fix.
Yeah, let's start with documentation, and then
okay.
if we want to pursue a bigger fix, we can kind of talk through what the options are for making sure we don't break anyone who might be depending on the existing behavior.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Thanks. Okay, so I think the next one, Sandeep, I think he's not here today. This one, let me move to the next meeting. I think he also opened an issue to track this. Okay, next one is the J's VM hardware dependency. Yeah, so basically,
so,
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So the vSphere CSI driver currently has a dependency on the VM hardware version. With the vSphere CSI migration, the question is, are we planning to support lower hardware versions? If not, are there any deprecation plans with respect to lower VM hardware versions in the Kubernetes
we should document that. Yeah, I think, well, I need to get Devian to answer the something he's not here, but I think the hardware version usually is tied with the vSphere version. But yeah, we should definitely document that one clearly. It's not clear. So
I think this is going to be a fairly problematic, right? There's a number of customers that are on lower hardware versions, at least on our end. And what that means is that they're not going to be able to, one, use the CSI driver, which is slightly problematic, but more so when we do the CSI migration, it means a large number of customers won't actually be able to use or be able to do the CSI migration.
So I think we do have that backport. So I don't know what is the hardware version for like 6.7 U3. So probably need to find.
Yeah, that would be good to find out.
Yeah.
What's the best way to?
I'm sorry?
In the public documentation, vSphere 6.7 UT supports hardware version 15, and it also supports lower VM hardware version also.
Okay.
Jay, would that be sufficient for us?
No, because vSphere 6.7 U3 supports lower VM hardware versions also. Customers may be running those VM hardware versions, which doesn't satisfy the CSI driver requirement.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get completely. Your voice is a little broken. So
customers. So what I was saying is, users may be using vSphere 6.7 U3, satisfying the vSphere version requirement, but their VM hardware versions could be a lower VM hardware version, may not be 15. They may be still running 13, 14.
But I think, if we're doing the backport, I would think that should also go with the hardware. So I have to find out. I don't know about that, right? So let's find out. Yeah.
Yep, makes sense. So let's find out what the new hardware version minimum is.
If we're talking about the backport, I would assume that should also support the corresponding hardware version. Otherwise, since it's not like a complete backport.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the only thing we want is we don't want to abandon a bunch of users here and say, oh, sorry, you can't actually do CSI migration. So that would be pretty bad. But it sounds like at least with the backport, there is a potential lower hardware version. So let's find out what that version is.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll ask Debian to find out details about that. Yeah, we will need to get this documented and see what is the hardware version.
Sounds good. Thanks, Xing.
No problem. Let's see. Oh, I think we already it's already time. I think I already mentioned, this one's basically this change block tracking proposal. We need to get some input from EBS, someone who understands the EBS APIs. So yeah, that's it. Anything else? All right. If not, that's it for today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Xing.